Hello everybody and welcome to Front Row Racing on this Thursday night where we're getting ready for the Front Row Racing World Series Reserve event, round 11 at Hungary. We've got a short qualifying session, a 50% race. We've got a few new faces. We've also got a few old ones, and they're mainly in the commentary box. And joining me in the commentary box tonight will be Hindle, although he says he's gone to grab himself a bite to eat, but I think that means he's probably in the bathroom. He'll be coming back to us in a few moments' time. We've also got Front Row Racing GP who's going to be sitting down in the pit lane with us. And Steve, I'm going to hand over to you in a moment so I can share the Facebook links. And I'm just wondering if you could perhaps explain a little bit about how people can get involved in Front Row Racing and what events we've got that they can get involved with.
Yeah, I shall do that, DP. Yeah, I am Front Row Racing GP. A lot of people know me as the Murray Talker. I will mention how drivers can get involved with Front Row Racing. Before I do, I'd heard that Hindle has got a bit of a rear end issue and a bit of the runs, shall we say.
No comment, no comment.
So when he gets back, we'll have to all kind of like nod at him and go, yeah, we know where you've been. Okay, so yeah. How do you get involved with Front Row Racing and what is it all about? Well, this is one way you can get involved, and that is by taking part in the Front Row Racing Reserve Programme, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. The Reserve Programme, and what is that? Well, we've got our main two leagues, the World Championship and the World Series. The Championship is the no assists allowed. The World Series is the assists allowed. And then we've got the reserve events, which are like the feeder series into those events, where we have a race the week before the main event for the reserve drivers to come and show what they can do on the circuit. They can join up with a teammate so they can have the same cars each week. If they've got a driver in the reserves that they get on well with. And yeah, they drive in the reserves and we get to know them, they get to know us, they get to learn the rules. Not all the rules are necessarily put into place for the reserves events, but we do like to see them acknowledging what the rules are and kind of understanding the rules as they go on. Yeah, if you are interested in joining Front Row Racing, you'll find out more about that once you get in touch with us. And the best way of getting in touch with us is by finding us on Facebook. Find us on Facebook, Front Row Racing, send us a message, and we shall ask you to fill out a driver's profile, and that's how you get involved. And I hear a microphone clicking. Is that Hindle or is that DP?
It is. I'm here.
You've wiped up after yourself then, have you?
I have.
Okay.
Okay, Hindle has joined us and we'll come to you in a moment, Ryan. I just want to quickly run through the drivers that we've got on the grid at the moment. There is a couple of faces missing, unfortunately, but there will be a few names that people will recognise. Valdemar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the Mercedes with a friend of his, Bozo Giu. And Valdemar, he's one to watch. He won last time out in the World Series Reserves. In the Ferrari, we've got John 94 Rhinos, and he should also have a teammate with him, but unfortunately it doesn't look like they're here tonight, Willow Wolves. In the Williams, we've got Drew and Twist Royalty pairing up once again, and if it rains, we'll see how long Twist hangs about. In the Red Bull, we've got SBO Mali Kekech, and who is that? Rookie Front Row Racing JS looks like he's going to be taken to the track tonight. I hope somebody crashes into him accidentally on purpose. And I am joking. Okay, in the red.
I hope he crashes on his own.
Oh yeah, that would be better, and we get it on camera because he'll never live it down next Wednesday when he's in the commentary box. In the Renault, we've got Lord JB13 in Toro Rosso. Lord JB, a very new driver by the way. A Razor 21 and Calzo in the Toro Rosso. Be interesting to see how that pairing gets on this week. In the Sauber, we've got Cologne X, had his debut race 2 weeks ago. In the McLaren, we've got Caribbean Crush. It's a name we've seen a few times. He could have won last time out in the World Series Reserves if he hadn't have got disconnected. So let's see how he gets on today. And Yuzi 1985, has he just switched car, or have I not mentioned it before? But I have mentioned him now. So Yuzi 1985 in for his debut race. Mr. Loki, we know what he's capable of in the Manor. And then in the Haas, we've got Gonk and the OG Dragon. Right, I think it's time to send the drivers over to the track. So Hungary awaits these guys. As I said, a short qualifying session, and a 50% race and a high possibility of rain, but we'll have to wait until we get to the track to see if that is going to be the case. Okay, Ryan, for anyone that doesn't know, you're known as Hindle, reigning World Series champion, and Hungary, I believe, is a track that's one of your favourites.
One of my favourites is my favourite. I don't know what it is. I like the fast flowing circuits, you know, corner after corner, left, right, like the Maggots, Becketts and Chopples. And this track is, well, it's basically one big, it's like a go-karting track, and that's why I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot.
It is. Now, next week in the World Series event, you're not going to be able to take part, which is massively unfortunate for you. Huge benefit for your teammate, who could do with gaining some points on you. But it could mean that you're perhaps sat here today keeping an eye on these drivers to see who performs. So who do you think could be on your radar, or do you think there may be some surprises?
Well, I'm not going to curse anybody because there's a few people here who are more than capable of doing that, and like you said, there's a few new drivers here. So we've seen in the past new drivers come in and blitz everybody. So we'll wait and find out.
That we will. Now, I have got a question of the day today. We'll get on to that in a few moments' time, and I like this one. It's a good one. So we'll see how the commentary and the viewers get on with the question of the day. As I just take a quick drink because my voice is drying up a bit, and I try and remember to not say "I'll tell you what" at any stage of this broadcast, because I know Steve's going to be sat there with his notepad ready to write down how many times I do say it. It looks like we've got a very sunny session, guys. Qualifying, no rain there. Let's have a look for the race. Also the race, no rain, and the circuit getting warmer. So weather not a factor for the drivers. But having said that, Hindle, you mentioned that this is a fast flowing circuit that's a lot like a go-kart track. But unfortunately, these cars, they don't have tyres on that are like go-kart tyres that you stick them on and they last a year. So could a hotter temperature at this track hurt the tyres more than a cool day?
Yeah, definitely. And especially at this track as well, tyre, everybody knows tyre wear is not the best round here, so I won't be surprised if we see a lot of drivers starting on the softs or qualifying on the softs.
Okay, just to let you know, as the cars have come out on track, it sounds like your microphone may be a little bit quiet. Either that or in my old age I am just going deaf, but I do know I turned up my car sounds a few weeks ago. So if the viewers are struggling to hear Hindle at all, please let us know, and Steve can keep an eye on any comments, and if we need to turn Hindle up a bit, I'm sure we can tweak his nipples or something and see if that works. Okay, question of the day. I'm going to fire it out there before the drivers really start pumping in their laps. And it's a bit of a different version of a question of the day today. It's a who am I? So, I'll give you a few clues and you have to work out who I am. And I will tell you now, the answer isn't from Row Racing DP. It's not a trick question in that respect. Okay, so who am I? I raced in F1 for more than one team. I've won a race in F1 but should have won more. I've raced in DTM and Le Mans, and I love wine. Who am I? Feel free to post your comments in the YouTube chat. Now, Steve, you've had about 50 guesses at this one. Do you want to tell us who you've decided to stick with? Which driver you think it is, or which person you think it is?
I'm going to stick with Olivier Panis. That's the name I'm going to stick with.
And Hindle, we talked about this a little bit before we came on air. Have you had a thought about it anymore? Is that why you disappeared off? Try and do a bit of Google research?
No, definitely not. Every person I can think of in my head has either done one or the other. But hasn't done the other, so no matter what, it's wrong. But I said Nico Hulkenberg, but I know it's not right, but it's a guess.
It is a guess. Okay, for any of the viewers, if you want to have a go at that one, post your answers in the YouTube chat, and Steve can keep an eye on those. And if Steve changes his answer, we know that someone's mentioned a name that could be right. I'm watching Coloniacs at the moment, though. And Steve and Ryan, I mean, you can obviously watch whoever you like. Valdemar, we know, is going to be one to keep an eye on. Calzo could be another. Mr. Loki, we know he's very, very quick. But at the same time, there's new drivers on the circuit. And it'll be interesting to see how they get on. Coloniacs, in his first race 2 weeks ago, he was doing quite well. He was having a good race until, I believe, unfortunately got disconnected. I tell you, he's looking a little bit twitchy through the end of Sector 2 as he comes into turn 12 and only 2 corners to go. And I must admit, I'm similar to you, Hindle. I love this track, although I hate it when you're stuck behind a car, because it's not an easy place to overtake, is it?
No. Well, no, obviously it's not, but and that's probably down to you need a lot of downforce around here, so everybody's running high downforce. Obviously, you've not got a lot of straight line speed. The only real overtaking opportunities are turn 1, turn 2, DRS. Yep,
very much so. I'm watching Valdemar now. He's gone through Sector 1 with a 27.913. He has got a car ahead of him. He's actually got quite a few cars ahead of him as one of them gets well out of the way on the grass. Comes back on the track and gets out of the way again, just about. But the Renault ahead is holding Valdemar up and he's abandoned his lap. And that's another feature of this circuit. I mean, you said it's like it is a little bit like a go-kart track, but it's also a lot like Monaco, where while you're trying to get qualifying laps in, the circuit can be very, very busy. Let's see.
Just mention PP. Valdemar's previous lap, he set purple in Sector 1 and Sector 2, and he's currently P1. So they might have been on an in-lap anyway.
Okay, well, it looks like Twist Royalty is trying to stay out of everybody's way. I don't know if he's just trying to get back to the pits or what, but yeah, definitely trying to stay out of everybody's way as they're out there setting lap times. He's currently in third. Calzo, with that Sector 1 time, he'll be on an in-lap. I see the OG Dragon currently sitting in 5th place. He's done a 27.9 and a 30.9 for Sector 1 and Sector 2. On the soft compound tyres and into the pits he's going. Using...
John Rhino's on a lap.
Okay, let's see if we can go and find John Rhinos then. Wasn't able to race 2 weeks ago, unfortunately, but he is in a red car with red tyres, and that means he's on super softs. That's 28.2 Sector 1, 31.2 Sector 2. Currently sitting in 11th place. DRS will be open now, and across the line he goes, and he improves to 10th place. Now, Mr. Loki, he's sitting in the pits, not going anywhere. Just having a look at the timing screen quickly from Row Racing JS. Oh, he's on an in-lap, so we can't watch him crash unless he bins it on his in-lap. Let's see. Is there anybody on a flying lap? Gonk. Yes, Gonk looks like he is. A 28.2 Sector 1, 30.5 Sector 2. And this is where he'll probably pull into the pits. No, he is going to complete the lap. Currently sitting in 9th place. And Hindle, what are we looking at for a really good lap time around here, do you think?
Super softs, very low 20s. Some people possibly sneak into 19 softs. A good time, high 20s, low 21s. I mean, Malik Kakech has already done a 20.8 on the soft, so it's a very good time now.
Well, if he's done a 20.8 on the softs, if he bolts the super softs on, you'd expect a good half-second improvement just from the tyres alone. I'm staying on board with Gonk for a moment. He's gone for another lap by the looks of it, 28.3 Sector 1. And into Sector 2, which starts off with a fantastic blind left-hander and then into a Mickey Mouse chicane, which I don't think anybody is a fan of, followed by a slightly bigger version of it, which is a tricky corner. The first one is quicker than the second one, and then into the fantastic fast left and right, where it's crucial to not run too far over to the left. And now we're downhill into a late braking zone for a... I like this corner, turn 12. You can potentially overtake there if you get a very good run on a driver ahead. tricky, long penultimate corner, and then the awkward, slightly cambered, and then off cambered and cambered again final turn. Avoid the exit curb. Across the line, goes, and he improves to 8th place.
I was just about to say Caribbean Crush is on a flying first sector, but he's abandoned it after maybe taking a bit too much curve at turn 4. It has been validated with 5, but yeah, before he managed to take too much curve, he's done a 27.8, which is nearly perfect, and that is on the soft compound, so Caribbean Crush is going to be one to look out for.
He definitely is. In that case, then keep an eye on him. I'm just having a quick look at a Razor. Got a blue helmet to match his favourite blue underwear. 28.4 sector 1, sector 2 looks like lost a little bit of time somewhere. 31.2. Is this perhaps an in lap? Yep, it is an in lap.
Okay, Caribbean Crush just coming round to start another lap. He's got one corner left to go before he starts his final lap.
Okay, in that case then, I'm going to ride on board with him and we'll follow him for the duration of this lap. DRS wide open. Let's see what kind of top speed he's going to get down towards turn 1, 190, 200. I think he's running quite low aeros if he's hitting 200 mile an hour. Tricky turn 1, DRS wide open again, and then get ready for the long, awkward, horrible turn 3. Although technically it is actually turn 2. And now the fantastic flat-out right-hander. Use all of the road, little bit of the curb, and then the blind apex of turn 4. It's a 28.0 sector 1, so perhaps he's just playing this particular lap a little cautious so he can get a banker lap in. Heading now to the Mickey Mouse chicane. Let's see how he gets on through there. Bit of a lock-up, but nicely through the chicane. Oh, ran a little bit wide. He's got away with that. He's just about got away with that. May have cost him a little bit of lap time though, but he's definitely hanging it all out there today. Sector 2, a 29.707, and again hard on the brakes. 2 corners to go. He's currently sitting in 16th place, but let's see what we're looking at. I'm thinking possibly 3rd place for this particular lap. Depends on how the sector goes, but it's a very nice line through the final corner. Opens it up, DRS wide open across the line, and it's 4th place.
SGL Mali Kekec has bolted on them super soft tyres and he's in the 2nd sector. He's done a purple sector 1, 27.709, so he's the quickest in that 1st sector. Couple more corners to go before we find out what he's been doing in this middle sector. So here that one comes up, 29.2, and that might be purple as well. No, it's just a fraction, 2/10 off what purple is. So this could be a very good lap though by SGL Mali Kekec.
Well, he's only got the 1 corner to go. Let's see if he's got it tucked in nicely, a lot like Caribbean Crush did. Oh, a bit wiggly on the exit though, and it's quick enough for 2nd place. I'm just curious though, Ryan, you're very quiet at the moment, so who are you spying on?
Around the last corner, he's done very similar sector times to Mali Kekec. He's about to go 3rd place. 3rd place for Calzo, 2 temps, 3 temps off.
Well, I knew you were spying on someone because you'd gone very, very quiet.
I was just letting you finish your laps off. But no, I'm looking for a lot of people actually. I've not watched a full lap with anybody. Looking through, see what people are doing.
Well, I'm looking at Yuzi at the moment, so if you want to watch him and take us through the rest of his lap.
Yuzi. Okay, super soft. I've barely done any practice on this, so I don't know the corners, but I know that's the horrible chicane nobody likes that. And this is your lap, this bit, these couple of corners here, miles away from the apex there, he's going to lose a lot of time through there. And he's missed the apex again, but that one was nice. Looking for low 29, mid 29, not too bad. Can hit the apex just off it. And then, like you said, this penultimate corner is terrible, absolutely terrible. And I think he's backed out a bit, or no? Bit of lag for me.
Yeah, bit of lag.
Right, so on the last corner, this last corner you can take it in 3, 4, 5 different ways, but the line's going to be a high 21, I think, low 21, 3.7. What time do you do? 21.3. That's not too bad. That. It's only the new driver.
Yeah, for his debut drive, and he did message me saying that he was very, very nervous about having this drive. It is his first one, and he is very, very nervous. I'm riding on board with Bozo Jew, but I'm going to change because got a bit of an audio glitch on his car. Lord JB. So I'm just going to watch Lord JB. He's also another new driver. But yeah, Yuzi did say he was very, very nervous. And Hindle, you're a driver that came through the Front Row Racing sort of reserve programme a couple of seasons ago. And can you understand a new driver saying that they are nervous?
Yeah, especially if they know how Front Row Racing works. I mean, they know, especially as a new driver, people are watching you. You know the broadcast team are watching you, you know they're going to be watching you through the race, so obviously with that in the back of your mind, you're like, don't mess up, don't cut corners, don't do this, and then you end up doing that anyway because of the pressure.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It's like, okay, I don't mind what happens as long as I don't get anyone's way and I don't crash. So what do? You get in someone's way and then you crash into someone. It's just the way it goes. But I mean, even the likes of coming to get you in the World Championship. I mean, when he got his first World Championship reserve drive, as in like racing in the World Championship as a reserve driver, he said then that he was very, very nervous, and he'd done a couple of races in the reserve system. See Lord JB sitting in 11th place with a 1:24.339. Let's see, Valdemar, he's sitting in the pits at the moment. SBL Mali Kekec looks like he's gone back out on track. Caribbean Crush, though, he's about to start a flying lap on the super soft tyre. And Valdemar has retired, so he's not going to put in another lap. So let's see how Caribbean Crush gets on then. Is he going to be able to fight for pole? Hard on the brakes to turn one. Got to be patient and then plant that throttle while the DRS opens up and hope to God that it doesn't spin out on you. Turn two. I hate this corner when it doesn't hook up right, but when it does, it's a beautiful section. And this turn four is all about bravery and hoping that you get the line right, which Caribbean Crush has done. 27.9. I think he's still sort of leaving a little bit in the tank to make sure that he doesn't get his lap invalidated, and he's actually backed out of it. Interesting.
I've got a theory on that, Steve. At the moment, it's the only one that's got a time completed on the soft compound. Everyone else is on the super soft. Might be strategic.
Yeah, but he has done 3 laps. He's done 3 laps on them soft tyres. So they're gonna be worn a lot.
That they are.
He does want to get a super soft run in.
Maybe he's burning fuel off and he's going to be putting the time on the board on his next one.
You wouldn't really want to risk having done an out lap and a flying lap on the super soft tyres, would you? We'll find out though. I'm watching Drew at the moment. We were having a bit of a chat about Drew before we came live, and he's done a 28.2 sector 1. Perhaps a little bit of lap time left out there. Drew, an avid watcher on Front Row Racing when he isn't racing, and he probably watches while he is racing as well, but he does pretty much watch every event that we do, and he has improved a lot over the course of this season. Unfortunately for Drew, connectivity has been a problem for him, and that's one of the reasons why he's not been picked as an admin's pick rookie this season. He has been fully aware and understanding of that, but it is good to see how he improves over the course of the season as I apply the pressure, and he makes a little mistake at turn 12, sector 2 time for 30.1, and into the pits he goes.
Caribbean Crush, 1,000 off purple sector 1.
Okay, Ryan, do you want to take us through the rest of Caribbean's lap?
Caribbean, yes, I was actually just watching low-key, but he backed out of it on the last sector, the last corner. So, Caribbean Crush, 27.7, 29.3, I tell you what, he's looking for pole here, definitely. Oh wait, no, he's 3 temps off, in the middle sector. We're on again, that tricky penultimate corner, he can take it tight like he's doing, or he can take it wide and get the better exit. Can he steal it? No, fourth with 20.3, I tell you what, we're going to have a cracking race this week.
That we definitely could. I've got on to Front Row Racing JS again, and he's on another in lap. How boring is he? A Razor though, he's done a 28.2 sector 1. He's on the super soft tyre, but in 20 seconds we're going to get kicked out of the pit lane.
And he's just ran wide. That's invalidated his time. That's session over for him.
Oh dear, oh dear. Let's see, who else have we got? There's a few guys out on track. I'm not sure if they're on laps. Calzo, he's gone and put himself into second place. I think he's just done that now as well. So in a few moments, we are going to get kicked from the pit lane. There we go.
Wow, Calzo, 16 thousandths off pole.
Someone that we haven't seen throughout the course of the qualifying session, or I haven't, is Neotig. He's out on track on the super soft tyre, sitting in 16th place at the moment. Let's see if he can improve on that as he comes into the penultimate corner. One to go, and then we'll find out if he can improve that grid position and perhaps get himself into the top 10. No, he can't, but he does improve to 15th place.
User just improved as well to P6 from P7, so it's going well for his debut drive.
Well, for User, I mean, P6, he'll be very happy with that, I reckon.
I think that is qualifying over, it is.
It is. Okay, in a few moments we'll get Ryan to run through the qualifying order for you when it pops up on the screen, and then I'll have to jump out of the lobby so that I can come back in and catch the start of the race. But a very interesting qualifying session we have just had there, and potentially we could be on for one hell of a battle up at the front. I will also mention the question of the day again, of which it's a who am I? And I don't just mean who am I, it's I'll give you a few clues and you can see if you can guess who it is that I'm on about. So here we go. Who am I? I raced in F1 for more than one team. I've won a race in F1 but should have won more. I've raced in DTM and Le Mans, and I love wine. Who am I? If you want to have a guess at the answer of that one, pop your answers in the YouTube chat and we'll get Steve to go through them, and we'll give you the answer at the end of the show when we do the podium interviews with the drivers. We will do an interview with the first, second and third place sitters at the end of the race, and we'll give them the opportunity to answer the question live, and then we'll give the answer out. Okay guys, so as we wait for the qualifying order to come up, what are we expecting from the race?
A very, very good one. A very good one, going off quality times. Well, saying that, it's like you said before, it's a really difficult track to overtake on. So I'm gonna go for there's gonna be a big snake of cars, and it's gonna be very entertaining.
Steve?
Well, for me, I think this is going to come down to people's strategy. A lot of drivers there on the super soft tyres, and I'm just wondering whether there's a bit of a chain reaction there, because it looked like some drivers may have wanted to set their times on the soft compound, but I think once they realised the majority of the grid were going super soft, that was the way they all went.
Okay, so here we have the qualifying order. So Ryan, if you would like to take the viewers through that particular order.
Yep, so P1 Valdemort at 19.8, that's a very good time, closely followed by Calzo, another 19.8. Then P3 closely followed again, SBL Malikekech at 19.9. A bit of a gap, Caribbean Crush in P4, 20.3, OG Dragon P5, Uzi P6, so some of the new guys, impressive here. P7 Swift Royalty, we know he's got some pace. P8 Front Racing GS, obviously everybody knows about him. P9 Drew, Gonk P10, Eraser P11, Lord JB P12, John 94 Rhinos P13, Bozo P14, Neil Tig P15, Kalonyex P16, Mr. Lowkey 17th on the super soft tyres. So I don't know if that's planned for him to do that.
He has started most of the World Series reserve races from the back.
Oh, well there we go then. Just showing off his pace. Is he in the race?
Well, he's been able to get from the back to pretty much the front in most events, so it would be interesting how he does that here, how he gets on here in Hungary. If you can let me know when the formation lap is underway, and I will come back to the circuit, and we'll let the viewers have a look at more than just the session list screen I've got at the moment. How's the weather looking? Is it looking nice and sunny? Is it looking cloudy?
Cloudy, very cloudy.
Interesting.
Three as well.
Formation, just to say the lights are going out now for the formation lap.
Okay, now something you might want to do as well is have a quick look at the race director and see what tyres drivers outside the top 10 are on. Also perhaps confirmation of what tyres the drivers inside the top 10 as well, as I'm just heading back over to the circuit. I've nipped away from the track, I've grabbed me pie, I've grabbed me pasty. Probably means I'm going to have to sack myself from being Sutton's goalkeeper after that. For anyone who doesn't know what that's what I actually want to know about that is, have you seen the picture of the guy? No offence, but goalkeeper, really? Okay, fair play to him, but unfortunately he has he's lost his job. Okay. Okay, tyres, guys. What are we looking at for the top 10 and the guys outside the top 10?
We've got the whole top 10 on super softs, and then it's a bit mixed. We've got nobody else on the super softs. So we've got the top 10 super softs, and then we've got three people on mediums: Lord JB, Bozo, and Mr. Loki, and then a Razor, John 94 Rhinos, Neil Tig, and Colonia X on softs. So a bit of a mixture. But the top 10 all going for super softs now. Yeah. Strategy is going to play a big part.
It will, but I just say it, mine's reading different, and we noticed yesterday that mine wasn't always going to be correct, but I've got Lord JB on medium and Mr. Loki on medium.
Did I not say that?
No.
Well, I said at the start of this broadcast, there's old people in the commentary box, and this could be a bit of an old person's moment. I just don't know whose it is, whether it's Steve's or Ryan's. Hopefully it's not yours, Ryan, because you're still technically young.
Yes, 20 years old. 20 years younger.
Okay, as we get ready then for the start of this race, I'm going to try and get back on board with Valdemar. The lights are coming on. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Not got the best of camera angles here. Someone's had a massive jump start, and now everybody else is getting underway. Somebody in a McLaren, he's already halfway down the road. I don't know who that is, but now he's showing Valdemar as being in 5th place. Now 3rd place. Here we go then into turn 1, and it looks like it's Calzo that's leading the way, and it's Yuzi that actually has had a massive jump start. I think he may find himself having a problem with a pit lane penalty, and I've seen in the background as well there's a Ferrari facing the wrong way. I think that's John Rhino's. That's unfortunate for him, but let's get back up towards the front. If my co-commentators could check whether perhaps Yuzi has got himself a drive-through penalty for a jump start there.
Yes, he has.
There we go.
And so has Calzo. So I'm guessing, and we know, because I remember the practice session with GP, one person does it, it's like a domino effect. You instantly do it, and I'm guessing that's what's happened to Calzo. So
if it is what's happened to Calzo, he'll be frustrated because usually started in about 8th place. But it may have been caught out by him coming past him at the time. But yeah, I mean, it is easily done. Oh, I'll tell you what, it looks like Twist Royalty's got a little bit of lag out there, heading around the penultimate corner. Yeah, he has, as Calzo has made his way into the pits to serve his penalty. Yuzi ahead of him as well, and that will frustrate Calzo a little bit, because not only has the guy ahead of him got a drive-through penalty, but he's going to be ahead of him on track. Caribbean Crush in 6th place, trying to attack on Twist Royalty down into turn 1, but it's difficult when the guy's car ahead of you is flying about all over the road. And Caribbean Crush has managed to get ahead. He's now pressuring the Red Bull, and I think that's from Row Racing JS. It is. So as they go side by side into turn 3, are they going to be able to make it? Yes, they are just. But Twist Royalty in his TARDIS is there as well. Go on, Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I thought he'd lost it. But no, but also Drew's had contact in the first corner, first lap, and he's out the race.
Oh, you're joking. So terminal damage DNF then. I did see it pop up on the screen that he was out of the race. I just wasn't sure if it was a disconnection or not. I did see a Ferrari heading into the wall as well, which I think may have been Neotig, perhaps not John Rhino's. So perhaps it was a collision between the two of them. However, up at the front we've got Valdemar first. SBL Mali Kekec second, the OG Dragon in third. Twist Royalties now in fourth. He's ahead of Front Row Racing JS, who's got Gonk right behind him now. Where's Caribbean Crush gone? Caribbean Crush has dropped down quite a few places here.
Nice place. I don't know what's happened there, but he's behind Mulkey. Mulkey's on the medium.
Well, that's not a good lap for Caribbean Crush then. We're saying that. I don't know if he's been nudged off the track by Twist Royalties TARDIS in the background. Let's see, is that Calzo being attacked? No, it wasn't. It's the other Toro Rosso. It was a Razor who's battling with the Manor. And now Caribbean Crush, Mr. Loki. So yeah, Mr. Loki's got ahead.
Just going to mention there, DP, just to clarify a few things. Drew did have terminal damage. Gonk had collision with Bozo Zhu. Lord JB had collision with Bozo Zhu. And John Rhinos had the collision with Drew.
Okay, so that clears that up then. Calzo, he'll be frustrated having started in second place, now in 12th place with Yuzi right ahead of him. I said that Yuzi was nervous about this event. I'm guessing he wasn't particularly ready for the start of the race, unfortunately. It was an absolutely massive jump start. He'll be a little bit embarrassed about that when watching this back, but get to see how he defends himself against one of the young drivers who isn't too shabby when it comes to sending a car around a track. Although, as I say that, I'm going to jump off board with him to see how Valdemar's getting on up at the front. So he's going to head into turn one. Still in the lead with SBL Mali Kekec. Uses race is over.
No. It's like a session, that's it, gone.
I don't suppose.
Yeah,
I don't suppose you was watching that at all. Typical though, as soon as I go away from him. So if you were watching, what happened?
Well, Callum Colzo was just right behind him, and that was it, just gone. Either a disconnection or a forfeit.
Oh dear. Perhaps a disconnection there for him. Massively unfortunate. I'll tell you what though, Mr. Loki, he's on the move. He's already up to 6th place. He's now right behind Front Row Racing JS, and he is on the medium compound tyre. Showing once again he's got skills when it comes to racing F1 cars. I mean, he's gone from the back of the grid to 6th place around a track where it's not that easy to overtake.
He's all over the back of JS as well. I mean, JS, I don't know if he practices a lot, but it does look a bit risky. Doing defensive. Looking around the outside on the medium. A little bit of contact, a little bit of a kiss, but he's through. He should be able to vote. And we're just given has down DRS, so Wolfie could go from 5th to 7th here.
Well, he may have just given JS the DRS, but Caribbean Crush has managed to get ahead of him as well. Nice bit of driving from both of those. He said, you don't know if JS gets a lot of practice in. The answer is no, he doesn't. I think he probably had about 20 minutes on time trial before we sent him to an invite for this one. So yeah, not a lot of time in the car at all, which is why he's now under pressure from Gonk, who is also running the super soft tyres. But a couple of things to keep an eye on is Stephen Ryan, is the gap between Valdemar and SBL Mali Kekec up at the front. Those
they're right behind each other. Well,
okay.
7 tenths.
Okay. I mean, those two, they had an absolutely cracking battle at Silverstone. Oh, Gonk's just made a little bit of a mistake at the Mickey Mouse chicane. Minnie Mouse has just given him a clip round the ear roll and said, you don't want to be over there, get your rear end back on the track, and he's trying to do that. And I think it was a disconnection for Yuzi, which is massively unfortunate for him.
I've got a feeling he's going to drive back, he's going to come back into the session, which obviously he may not be aware is against the rules.
Yep, you're right, it is. As you said, though, he may not be aware, but that's why we mention it. I mean, in the reserve events, it's not sort of absolutely crucial or vital, but in the World Championship and the World Series, yeah, definitely. If you get disconnected, unfortunately, that's your race over.
Yeah, he has rejoined into his car. He's now down.
Okay, so yeah, Valdemar and SBL Mali Kekec in Silverstone, they had an absolutely cracking battle. Definitely one worth watching, and Mali Kekec was very unfortunate not to get the victory there. I think on the last lap he went from first down to third, so he'll feel he's got a little bit of something to prove perhaps here in Hungary. The OG Dragon 5.7 seconds behind in third place, but he's got a 3-second gap to Twist Royalty in fourth, but look who's right behind him. That's Mr. Loki, who's now in fifth place. He is absolutely flying. We have to keep an eye on him as well, but Caribbean Crush, he's keeping hold of Mr. Loki at the moment. The problem is Caribbean Crush is on the super soft tyres and Mr. Loki's on the mediums, and he's going to be going a hell of a lot longer. I'll tell you what, in the background, is that a 3-car battle? It's a 4-car battle for a Racing JS. Okay, Mali Kekec into the pits then from a Racing JS, battling with Gonk and Calzo. Calzo sneaking up the inside as JS makes a mistake. This is about to become a 4-car battle. Gonk into the pits, JS into the pits. Calzo continues on.
Lap 6, that's quite early, that.
It is, but considering these guys have done qualifying laps on them as well, it can be kind of understandable. So Mali Kekec comes out in 6th place, right behind a Razor 21, who is teammates with Calzo 210, and a Razor is on the soft compound tyre. Okay, Steve, you were shouting a few people that were in the pits there. Do you want to give us an update on that?
Yeah, well, obviously, first of all, there was SBL Mali Kekec. Twist Royalty followed him in, and after that, I think you pretty much picked up the rest of the drivers yourself.
Okay, question now though, Ryan, is Valdemar, does he react straight away or does he not worry because Mali Kekec is in traffic?
Well, I don't think he'll know. He won't know Mali Kekec is in traffic, but he's got to run his own race. Does he need to pit? Has he got the tyre wear? We're about to find out. No, oh yeah, he pits.
Okay, so this is potentially crucial then. Mali Kekec up the inside. A Razor gives him the room. Beautiful bit of driving from the both of them there. A Razor may feel it was perhaps squeezed a little bit on the exit, but I tell you what, it was a nice bit of driving. Question now though is Mali Kekec coming around the final corner. Whereabouts is Valdemar? He's just about to leave the pits. Yeah, he is. The OG Dragon is in the pits. So here we go then, Mali Kekec. And I think they're the tyres of Valdemar.
Oh, the exit. Yep. We get him on the exit, I think. No.
No, they won't. He has got his tyres up to temperature though, so for Valdemar, pressure time, but also for Mali Kekec, he doesn't have to worry too much because give it a couple of corners and Valdemar's going to be right on the rear end of Calzo 210 with nowhere to really overtake, although Calzo may be heading to the pits very, very soon.
No, Calzo pitted. Calzo's pitted, I believe. Did he?
No, he did his drive-through, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, Mali Kekec on super softs, Valdemar's on the mediums.
Are you sure?
That's what it says on my screen.
All right, okay. On my screen, it's showing me Valdemar on mediums and SBL Mali Kekec on mediums. Be a bit frustrating if there is a visual glitch on the tyres. But Ryan, seeing as you have stayed in the lobby, yeah, if you look on the race director, you can confirm it for us. So let's see, is Calzo going to go for the pits? No, not on this occasion. So Valdemar, time for you to make a move, time for you to get past, because if you don't, Mali Kekec is going to be coming for you. Here we go then, DRS open, Calzo goes defensive early, showing that he's going to take the inside. No, he's switching to the outside, and Valdemar hasn't got the straight line speed to get past. On the second DRS though, he's got another chance, but here comes Mali Kekec. Calzo going defensive, Mali Kekec up the inside, tags the back of Calzo. Oh, I tell you what, if he'd have... Oh no, I've just done it. Make a note, Steve. I was going to say, if Mali Kekec had only gone for making the move on Valdemar, he'd have got the move done on Valdemar. But I think he saw a full bag of sweets and... Yeah, instead of taking one sweet, he stuffed his head in the bag.
Over optimistic there.
Definitely.
You don't want to try and dive down the inside of two cars, because where's the car in the middle going to go?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. The car right ahead of you, he's going to know you're there. The car ahead of him's going to have absolutely no chance of knowing that you're going to be there. Valdemar, though, he's looking aggressive again on Calzo. Calzo's on lap 9 on his tyres, although include qualifying as well, and it's a couple more than that. So is he going to be pitting on this time around? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Loki, we've not seen him for a little while. He's leading this race, and I tell you what, the gap between himself and Valdemar is not that big. It's only 5 seconds. Yeah. So when Valdemar...
on the mediums. Sorry, catches on the mediums. I've got a visual glitch, which is quite annoying.
Okay, no problem. Let's see, a Razor, he's running in 4th. The OG Dragon and Twist Royalty having a bit of a battle with Caribbean Crush. And remember, Caribbean Crush wasn't too far. Oh, he's off! Onto the green stuff. I had to add that bit. I was going to say...
You was about to praise him, weren't you?
I was, but I was also going to say that Mr. Loki was only a little bit ahead of Caribbean Crush when Caribbean pitted, so Mr. Loki may come out into that particular bit of a battle. Lord JB, he's running in 10th place at the moment. John 94 Rhinos in 11th, and he's got from Row Racing JS right behind him, as these guys have both made a pit stop now, I believe. Yuzi back in his car in 13th place. Bozo Jiu in 14th with Coloniex right behind him in 15th. Neotig is out of this race, unfortunately. So, quick look back up at the front. So, Ryan... Yeah. You said, I think you said you've not done a lot of practice around here, but how far do you think Mr. Loki is going to be able to take a set of the medium compound tyres from brand new from the start?
Well, like you said, I've not done no practice on the tyres, but I'd probably say 15, 16 laps. I'm not sure if GP can, I'm not sure if he can really practice on that.
I can give you a bit of information on what we went with yesterday. With guys in the no assist, we said 20, maybe 22 at a push. So yeah, we could probably take them quite deep. It looks like it may be a one-stop for them. Yeah.
Okay, just to let you know, I'm looking at 5th place, the OG Dragon, who's catching up to a Razor 21 and is bringing Twist Royalty with him. But also, I just want to let you guys know so you can keep an eye on it. Valdemar is catching Mr. Loki. On the previous lap, the gap was just over 5 seconds. On the last lap, it was 4 seconds. And I tell you what, I think a Razor 21 is struggling on his soft compound tyres. I don't think he's made a pit stop yet because the OG Dragon is catching him so quickly in the corners on the mediums that it's making me think that those soft tyres are pretty much done on a Razor's car.
We'll find out. I don't think he has pitted actually. No, he has not. Him and Loki are the only guys who haven't pitted. The Caribbean Crush has already made 2 pit stops and pitted again.
Oh dear, maybe he had a bit of damage there. I tell you what, oh god, done it again. Come on then, Steve, how many am I up to?
The YouTube followers are counting for me. I'll let you know at the end.
Oh god. Okay, Valdemar, he's got the gap down to 2.7 seconds. And bearing in mind that Mr. Loki, okay, he was on his tyres from the start of the race. We're looking at him being on them for another 8 laps. Either Valdemar is pushing his tyres way too hard, or he's just on the pace on these tyres. And that can happen sometimes, can't it?
It can, but Valdemar is obviously on the two-stop strategy, so he needs to push. He knows Loki's probably going for a one-stop now, so he knows they've both got one stop left. He needs to push and overtake him.
Yeah, quite possibly. Either that or catch right up to the back of him at that point that he wants to pit and then go for an undercut. And just make sure that he's on the same tyres. It's a similar situation that we saw brewing in Silverstone actually, where different strategies, but the driver on the multiple stops had that possibility of making sure that they were on a soft compound of tyre at the same time that Mr. Loki was, negating any advantage that he may get.
I you're asking me, DP, sorry, I was in a world of my own.
No, I wasn't. You're talking to yourself. That's an old person moment. I'm looking at Twist Royalty having a bit of a look at the OG Dragon. A Razor 21 has made a pit stop. Let's see where... Oh, he's on his way into the pits now without a front wing. So unfortunately something has gone a little bit awry for a Razor. Let's see, Calzo, after a difficult start, is now on the soft compound tyre. 18.5 seconds off the lead, and it looks like he's catching up to Twist Royalty and the OG Dragon. So I'm curious, Ryan, we are, what, a third of the way, or just over a third of the way into this race. What have you made of it so far? I mean, there's a few drivers that you've not seen before, and there's a few drivers you've seen on one or two occasions, but what do you make of what we've had out on track at the moment?
Well, I don't think we've seen, apart from the start, it's been quite clean, especially for the new guys. I've just seen Colognex overtake a Mercedes, don't know that was Bozo, down the main straight, so nice clean overtake as well, so that's good. But yeah, in general, it's not been as action packed as I thought it was going to be, but all in all, the 3 races what we're in for.
Well, I've got a feeling that by the time this race comes to an end, it's going to close up again. Once the strategies have played out, there's a good chance we're going to end up with a few cars very, very close to each other. Valdemar, a 1.5 seconds off Mr. Loki, and he needs to keep pushing and pushing hard. SBL Malikekech has dropped off a little bit. Let's see, the OG Dragon still got Twist Royalty behind him, bugging him. Calzo still trying to catch up to him. See Gonk, he's all on his own in 7th place. Lord JB making a pit stop, coming out on track, and I tell you what, JS is under a bit of pressure from Yuzi. 1985. Is he going to have a look up the inside? No, he's not. JS manages to cover him off.
Yeah, just going to say on that, JS seems to be struggling through the middle sector. Maybe he's felt not suiting those medium compound tyres. He usually looks a lot more comfortable through that sector, so I don't know if he'll try and overtake maybe in a position we wouldn't normally see. A position on the
do you mean like this? Do you mean like this? Because JS just ran a little bit wide. I think you're right, he's struggling on those mediums, and Yuzi having a look up the inside, had to get on the grass a little bit. JS trying to cover him off into the Mickey Mouse chicane, but he's clipped the sausage curb. He's not going to live that down with the Project Cars drivers. Power boost penalty. Power boost penalty. And that's down to 12th place for him as Lord JB, and a Razor managed to sneak past as well. We've got to give him some grief. If you're going to sit in the commentary box every other week, you're open for a bit of abuse when you make a mistake.
I'm surprised how they put it down in 13th. Did you say he's pitted twice already? That was odd. Really,
yeah. But he had that incident, didn't he? Into the grass, so I'm guessing he had damage from that and he had to pit.
He's still got front wing damage.
Oh,
no, sorry, it might just be the way the apparent front wing looks. It doesn't look like it's got many
winglets
on it.
The gap at the front, 1.2 seconds.
Yeah, it's just
it's coming down.
Well, it's just come down by 0.6 of a second. I think Loki's just had a bit of a tricky lap, and Valdemar's just really been on it. Because last I looked, the gap was about 1.6, and it went up to 1.8. It's come down to 1.2, 1.0. Okay, we're into or nearly within DRS range. This is going to begin getting a little bit feisty. So while we, yep.
Twist Royalty's got DRS and he's just about to go for an overtake on the AG Dragon. He's pulling up alongside him for down into turn 1.
Car behind as well. Who's that?
That's Calzo.
He wants a piece of this.
Well, we've seen 3 cars heading into turn 2 before, and we know how that went. Let's see how it goes on this occasion. So Twist Royalty leading this little trio of cars. Gonk in the middle. Calzo now on the inside for turn 3. Yeah. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Into turn 4 then, and they're going to hold these particular positions. There was a nice bit of driving from all three drivers there, showing that you can go sort of side by side, turn 1, turn 2, quite nicely. And it's one of the things, you give people room, you end up with great racing. As much as some people like slamming doors, yeah, give a bit of room, you get good racing. But Calzo, he's on a charge. Let's have another quick look back at the gap at the lead, and it's gone back up to 1.1 seconds, but it has Valdemar pulled it in enough to get DRS, as Mr. Loki was a little bit slidey. Yes, Valdemar's got DRS. Loki knows it because he's going defensive.
He gets a double DRS as well.
Calzo is lining up just forward on the last corner for DRS.
Okay, so tucking in for the slipstream, the wing is open, he's got to have a look up the inside. Is he going to be later on the brakes? Twist tries to defend it, but he can't, so that's Calzo up to 14th. He's going to get another shot at DRS now, and that'll help him stay ahead. Is Twist going to have a look up the inside? No, not able to do it. And just like in last night's race, the World Championship Reserves, there's a lot of marbles beginning to appear at the side of the circuit here in Hungary, and it's no surprise, but what it does mean is you get off the racing line, it suddenly becomes a little bit slippier out there on track.
I think we could see a change of lead coming down the start-finish straight. They are coming around the last few corners now, and the closest he's been since he's been behind him, so...
Well, yeah, he could be within range. I'm just
all about this corner here. You've got to get this corner here.
Well, you mentioned earlier on there's a few different ways to take that corner. Well, what are the challenges when you're following someone around the corner?
For me, if I was following someone, I'd do the opposite to what they're doing. They go tight, I'll go wide. They go wide, I'll go tight.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
What is the best way around the corner?
The fastest.
Yeah, it's the best way. I don't think there is a best way. I mean, you've got the tight line where you keep an average speed, or you've got the wide line where you slow in and fast out. So it all depends on the situation you're in.
Yeah, it can be useful. I mean, like you said, you do the opposite to what the car ahead does, because it can benefit you with a slightly cleaner line. Valdemar's right on him now, and they've got a little bit of traffic ahead, and I think that might be Koloniex in the Sauber. I was looking as well, okay, Mr. Loki, he's on these tyres, he's been on them for 18 laps. If he's going to try and one-stop this race, or two-stop instead of three-stop, what's he going to do? Try and go to lap 20 and then do...
15 on the softs?
Well, it's not... Well, yeah, it would be 15, wouldn't it? Yeah, 15 on the softs maybe, yeah.
Yeah. He's got to get to at least lap 20. Minimum lap 20. Valdemar here though. He's got to stay in the slipstream. No.
I think he's struggling a little bit for straight line speed. What you might want to have a look at on the next lap, Ryan, is sort of ride on board with him and see what speed he's getting in that straight line. But having said that, I'm fairly sure that he was hitting over 200 mile an hour. Well, no, that was Caribbean Crushing qualifying that was hitting over 200 mile an hour. But yeah, Valdemar may be a little bit limited on straight line speed with high.
Good run here, though. No, you don't want to risk it into turn 4 anyway.
The only time you want to risk it into turn 4 is if you're already side by side by the time you get there, or you're halfway up the straight. I mean, if you're not side by side halfway up the straight, you pretty much got to wait until either turn 12 or, as you mentioned earlier on, the run to turn 1, or the run down to turn 2. Well, Valdemar, though, I mean, we mentioned sideways for Valdemar. He's caught it, but it's cost him time. Mr. Loki's just gone a little bit ghosted there. I'm wondering if he's having a bit of a problem.
Yellow flags usually retired.
Oh, there's a car. Yeah, there's a car in the barrier. It just disappeared right behind the lamppost. It was in the middle of the field there. And Mr. Loki has gone on for another lap and riding on board now. I'll tell you what, let's ride on board properly, and we will get to see what speed Valdemar's going to get up to with DRS open. Mr. Loki is quick in a straight line. It's only 197, was it, I saw, for Valdemar with DRS?
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Oh, he's having a look into turn two. This is pressure for Valdemar now, but I mentioned earlier on, I mean, you mentioned if like Mr. Loki's on a one stop, he's got to go to at least lap 20, so Loki may be stopping now. If Valdemar's got another stop to do, he may as well do it just before Loki does, if he can, and go for the same type of tyre. Either go for another set of mediums or go for a set of the soft compound tyres and hope that they will last. If he stays out on track, his only hope will be that Loki gets stuck in traffic, but as we saw from the start of the race, Loki isn't bothered by traffic.
No, I think we're seeing a difference in setups here as well. Like, through the second sector, Valdemar's right behind him. And then we get to the straight and Loki pulls away.
Okay, well, we'll see how they get on. Bozo Giu, unfortunately, out of the race. Steve, if you can let us know in a few moments what that may have been. I tell you, this is Valdemar's chance. This is the closest he's been. Yeah. He's really, really close. He had a fantastic run round that final corner. But again, Loki's pulling away without the DRS. Have a look up the inside, young man. He's looked, but he's not been able to do it. Can he get Loki out of shape? Can he do it to 2? Tell us, Ryan. Can he do it to 2?
No.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Loki's got 2. He's got very good traction coming out of the last corner and out of turn 1. But it's neutralising the DRS. And he knows he'll keep him behind.
So I can say both of you watch terminal damage, but I don't know where and why. If he's watching the stream, I'll show your comment. I have a comment from Drew, so continue on there. You want me to comment on Drew?
Okay, might come to that in a few moments' time. As Valdemar, he's starting to have a look in other places on the circuit, and I'm thinking, Ryan, he's probably got to have a look at turn 12. That's the next best opportunity, or, as I said, chuck it into the pits before Loki does.
Yeah, I think Loki's very, very slow or very cautious in the middle sector. He's very tentative with his steering. And Valdemar's right behind him, and on this bit here, Loki just gets very good traction. But Valdemar's close again. Valdemar getting that slipstream. He's got to have a look here, he's got to have a look. He's got to have a look. He is doing.
Loki just about giving him enough room, a little bit of contact, but they're still going. But Loki's got the inside line for turn 2. No, he hasn't. He's got the behind line for turn 2, but Valdemar was a little bit sideways into the corner. Loki gave him a little bit of a nudge there. Interesting bit of driving. You were right, though. He had to have a look, and he looked a little bit tentative about it, and it was almost like he went into the corners like, can I? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, go on then.
I'm here now.
And Loki just about able to give him room. Difficult one. He may have been a little surprised, but a nice bit of driving. Both drivers side by side, a little contact, but I'm sure they can discuss that one afterwards. Right. What we're going to have to keep an eye on, all my co-commentators are going to have to keep an eye on there, is what Mr. Loki does regarding pit stops and what Valdemar does regarding pit stops. SPL Mali Kekec, he's made another pit stop, which means that Calzo is now into 3rd place. Twist Royalty is running in 4th place, and he's got SPL Mali Kekec trying to overtake him. As I said, Mali Kekec has just made a pit stop. Either that or he's just made an absolute nightmare and lost 2 positions. But he's attacking Twist Royalty into turn 12 around the outside. Twist squeezing him, and you've not got a lot of grip on the AstroTurf out there. But for Mali Kekec, if he wants to gain, now's the time to try and do it, but it's difficult with traffic. Twist Royalty, though, peels off into the pits, and that frees him up. But I think Calzo has just jumped into the pit lane. Yes, he has. Yes, so that puts SPL Mali Kekec.
On the soft tyres.
Okay, so Mali Kekec has pitted, and guess where he is? Right behind Mr. Loki.
Yep, and Loki's on the quicker tyres as well.
Yeah. So
Valdemar.
Go on then, what does he do?
You've got to pit. You've got to pit this lap. Has to pit. Well, I would anyway. If the car behind you, you're on the same. You've both got 1 stop left. He's pitted. You want to keep that P1, son? You pit right now.
Just on that, if he was to go 2 more laps, he could put on the super softs.
But as you've just seen, it's very hard to overtake Loki. Oh, he struggled a lot, even with quicker tyres. Well, he wasn't like quicker tyres, but there was a lot of pressure. He's got to pit. He's got to pit, and he does.
So Valdemar into the pits then. I will come and have a look at him in a moment. I'm just having a run through the order for the viewers. So Valdemar then. What tyres is he going to go for? It looks like it could be another set of the medium compound tyres. It is another set of the medium compound tyres. I think he may have just thrown away a possibility of the win here, unless he's hoping that Mr. Loki can't take a set of soft tyres all the way to the end.
And Loki's already coming past him. Oh no, he's not. It's going to be close.
They're side by side into turn 1 again. Let's see how they get on this time. Loki in the lead. Is he? Yes, just. Valdemar looking up the inside of 2, not quite able to do it, but this is where for now, for Valdemar, I mean, as you said, Ryan, it's not easy to overtake here, but not only is it not easy to overtake here, the car ahead of him's on faster tyres.
Yeah, I don't know if he was just a bit cautious. He didn't want to try and push the softs to the end. I think he has definitely made the wrong call and went for the mediums.
Could it be the fact that he had the hardest tyre selection, or maybe he didn't have enough soft tyres?
But he started on super softs, didn't he? So he would have had softs, a set of softs, no matter which he picked. Balanced or hard. Unless he picked sort of full soft, he'd have softs anyway, so... Yeah. When he started on super softs, he's done super soft, medium, so...
If he was going to do medium twice, then he would be better off doing that more in the middle of those 2 stints.
Well, a little bit of a theory, something you can have a look at, is Steve. If you have a look at his race stints on the race director, and see how many laps he did on those medium tyres, and because what I'm thinking is, okay, perhaps he could have gone for the soft tyre, but if he's concerned a little bit about wear, maybe he's thinking he can put another set of mediums on and push them harder than he did the last stint, as Calzo puts in a new fastest lap of the race. He's currently sitting in 4th place, 13.9 seconds off the lead, and he is 10 seconds behind SBL Mali Kekec, who is only 3 seconds behind the leader, whereas Valdemar is only half a second.
Right, Valdemar did 15 flying laps, well, including his out lap. So I would say 14 of his laps are pretty much spot on the same lap time, so he knows he can get 14 laps out of them at exactly the same pace. He may not be able to do that with a soft tyre.
Well, I mean, it's only 11 laps that he's going to need to do here. Just to let you know, Steve, if you can just keep an eye on any battles that are going on down the order. Ryan, I was just wondering if you wanted to have a look at Mr. Loki's lap times on the medium compound tyres and see whether his lap times were consistent all the way through, or whether there was a big drop-off on those last few laps.
Right, we do have a battle, by the way.
Yep.
We've got John Rhino's Caribbean Crush and Lord JB, 3 cars all in a very small space, heading up for turn 4, and Caribbean Crush speed up the circuit. He was giving a place to Lord JB.
I have got a bit of a theory about Caribbean Crush. We did see him doing over 200 mile an hour in qualifying, which hinted potentially a low downforce setup, which in qualifying, yeah, can work. But I'm wondering if when the fuel has gone in the car doesn't like it. Around this track, higher aeros tend to be the better way to go, and perhaps for Caribbean Crush, going for the lower aeros, it's made the car a bit more difficult to drive, and that's ended up being in the barrier a few times and off track a few times.
Yeah, we've seen it in a few races actually. Anybody can be quick in qualifying. If you've not got the car in the race, then you can struggle. You've got what, 30 odd laps of having a car that doesn't suit your driving style or isn't doing what you want it to do. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to cut you off a second, Ryan. As Lord JB having a look up the inside. Nice little move into turn 1, but he is on the super soft tyre. Caribbean Crush also now trying to have a look at John Rhino's. I'm going to flick back to the leaders though, see if that gap has grown. No, Valdemar, I tell you what, he's doing well, staying within half a second of Mr. Loki. Right, we've got any information about what Loki's lap times were like on those medium tyres?
Very good. From the first lap, he was out of traffic to his last flying lap. The only difference was only 7/10.
So very, very consistent then.
Yeah.
And I mean, consistency can be more useful than being quick. As you said, I mean, if you're quick in qualifying, that's one thing. If you haven't got a race pace set up for your car, I mean, it's awful. I mean, I'm sure all three of us in the commentary box have had it at some point where as soon as you do the first couple of laps of the race and this setup ain't right. Valdemar nearly loses it. Yeah, it's 25, 30 odd laps with a shoe on a shiny floor that's is very, very slippy and not very nice. Valdemar is really tyres really hard.
Let me know when you want me to read through the order for you.
You can do in a moment because Valdemar looks like he's having another look into turn 1. Is he? No. Got a bit of a visual glitching going on here, so not getting a smooth transition of the cars, pushing hard. And I suppose the harder he pushes his medium tyres, the more he'll damage them, but they should survive it. But the harder he pushes, the harder it's going to make Loki push. And can Loki's soft tyres handle it? That'll be the question, and that'll be what Valdemar is potentially trying to do. Okay, Steve, yeah, if you want to have a run through the order for us, feel free to do so.
Okay, leading the race then is Mr. Loki in second place, very close to him, Valdemar. Then we've got third, SBL Malikek H4. Calzo 210, then we've got in 5th place Swiss Royalty, 6th AG Dragon, 7th Gong, 8th Eraser, 9th Lord JB 13, 10th Caribbean Crush, 11th John 94 Rhinos, 12th Blaney X, 13th is Front Racing JS, and I've just seen Eraser dropping down positions. I don't know what's happened there to his name, but on my list it's just dropped down positions.
He's in the pits.
Okay, that'd be why. Neo Tig, is he out of the race already?
He is. He was out at the end of lap 1.
Yep, so everyone else then is not currently winning in this race.
Okay, 6 laps to go.
I'll tell you what, I was about to say...
Hang on a minute. Hey, viewers, count that one. Not on me, count that on Hindle.
Yeah.
Right, what were you going to say?
I'm going to use the DP term, but I said that first. So I was going to say, I tell you what, if Colzo didn't have that drive-through penalty, he'd have been right up there. He's only 14 seconds off.
Yeah.
AG Dragon goes for overtake on Swiss Royalty. Swiss Royalty went defensive into turn 1. And OG Dragon not able to make the move on this lap, but OG Dragon, I've been watching for a few laps and been slowly reeling Swiss Royalty in. Well, he's reeled him in now, and it's just a matter of waiting for the right opportunity to make the overtake.
Okay, gap between SPL Mali Kekech and Calzo, only 9 seconds. So if Calzo can keep pushing, may be able to get something out of that. It's a lot to ask, but you never know around this tricky Hungarian circuit. One of quite a few drivers' favourite tracks, and probably a track that a lot of people don't like as well, given the tricky nature. Valdemar's got a good run on Mr. Loki, but Loki feels confident that he's far enough ahead to not have to defend into turn 1. Well, I've got to say, what a battle we've had here for the lead. I mean, I think what surprises me a little bit, though, Ryan, is that, okay, Mr. Loki started from the back of the grid and, yes, managed to get up to the front, but he's in a battle for the lead. He's not been able to sort of continue that pace on and pull away, open up a gap at the front.
Oh, he's just lost a car. Hang on. Rod him up? No, he's not going to try into there. Anybody would be silly to try into there. But yeah, again, quite surprised at that. He's shown his pace on the harder compound compared to everybody else on the softer compound. Now he's on the quicker tyres. You think he'd just pull away and we never see him again, but no, Valdemar doing a sterling job on the medium, staying right behind him. And I think lap 33, lap 34, maybe we'd see a crossover. The mediums quicker than the softs.
Well, that can be something you can perhaps keep an eye on Mr. Loki's lap times, whether in sort of 3 laps time they are going to start dropping off. Valdemar's got a good run here. He took a slightly different line there. This is the closest he's been since we last saw him overtake.
Got to.
He's having a look around the outside. Is he going to go for a bit of a switchback? No, but he has got a decent run. He got DRS again, but I don't think he's close enough. He's having a look, but yeah, realise not close enough to really go for it.
Out of shape though. He's going to get the better run through 3, sorry. No.
Oh, you're right.
To lean, save your fuel for the next straight.
Yep.
I was going to ask about the fuel. I might have to do that while they're in this middle sector. Hindu might be able to answer this quite well, actually. Mr. Loki, could he have been running rich early on and putting those fast lap times in? I'm on about in the first, say, 10
Calzo,
Oh, no, Calzo's out
Calzo.
of the session.
That's the disconnection.
You
know what's happening now? It's Connor, get off the phone! Get off the phone! Turn your PlayStation off! How dare you!
And now it's me, the Calzo. You're in my seat next week.
And for anyone that doesn't understand that, Hindle is teammates with Conzo 1993, who is the big brother of Calzo. And there's a bit of a potential history there that if Calzo and Conzo race in the same event, one or both could get disconnected. So yeah, if Hindle's got a choice of who gets to be his reserve driver, it could be Calzo. That would be interesting. Okay, Valdemar still very, very close, and he's still pushing hard. Well, let's see. Have we got any other battles on the grid? The OG Dragon was in a fight earlier with Twist Royalty, but Twist Royalty has opened that up a little bit. Gonk, he's all on his own on track. Caribbean Crush is in 8th, again, all on his own. John Rhino's in 9th.
Voldemort's made a move up the inside and Loki's looking no room. Is he waiting for him? I thought he was waiting for him. He is waiting for him. And that is what we like to see. I like that.
Okay, I didn't see it, unfortunately, but if you want to tell us what happened there, guys.
Turn 5, he made a move up the inside. I don't think Loki was expecting it, the hairpin type corner, turn 5.
Yep.
Made a move up there, and Loki's turned in on him when he waited for him at the Mickey Mouse chicane, so...
Well, fair play to Loki.
Yep.
I mean, one of the things for example, in front row racing in the World Championship and the World Series, you can get penalised for a few things, but if you happen to bump somebody off the road, if you wait for them, you don't get a penalty for it. So it earns a lot of respect. So Loki slowing down there and saying, sort of, catch me back up. Let's go again. Massive respect. But did you notice he sort of like, I'll let you catch back up, but I'm not going to let you through.
No.
Just want to finish off what I was trying to ask a moment ago about the fuel. Is Mr. Loki not as quick on these tyres as what he was on the mediums, mainly down to fuel consumption?
Possibly, because like we said, he flew through the traffic, didn't he? So maybe he was gunning it, absolutely destroying all of his fuel. But again, look, this middle sector, Valdemar's all over him.
I'm not watching it at the moment, just having a quick look at a Razor and Lord JB. They're fighting for 10th place, but I will get back on board with Valdemar and Mr. Loki as they head towards turn 12 and set up for another run down the DRS. Now, I'll tell you what, Ryan, you were talking about whether Mr. Loki's lap times might drop off on lap 33. Well, it definitely did on lap 32. And Valdemar's really close again on entry into the final corner. He's really close on the exit as well.
Yeah, he'll get it here.
You've just cursed him. He's got to go for it. Mr. Loki's straight line speed is phenomenal. Oh, Valdemar looking up the inside. Loki goes straight on. And Valdemar.
He's going to take the lead.
Valdemar. Oh, I tell you what, he is, but Valdemar slowed down to let Mr. Loki come back through, but Mr. Loki's retired from the session, so Valdemar's just gifted SPL Mali Kakech the lead. SPL Mali Kakech is like, yeah, you guys carry on.
Valdemar's still waiting. Valdemar is still waiting. No, no.
Valdemar, go! He's retired from the race. Where's third place? Where's third place? Who is third place? It's Twist Royalty. He's where is he? He's just coming around turn 2. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, oh, there's a what's the Marusha doing there? It's sideways on the entry to turn 4. But I saw Mr. Loki retire when the car was by the barrier at turn 1.
Yeah, I did as well.
Quite often on this, even if you come off the circuit and then retire yourself, it will drive the car back on the circuit until it decides to then find somewhere else to stop again.
Yeah, which is maybe what it tried to do and got it very, very wrong. It will surprise a few drivers if they head up to turn 4 and there's a car sideways in the road there. But SPL Mali Kakech's been gifted the lead here. He won't care, considering what happened at Silverstone 2 weeks ago. He'll be very, very happy. Have we got any battles anywhere down the field?
Yes, Lord JB.
Sorry. Just rotating third, it's got OG Dragon right on his gearbox with DRS open and going for overtake to the final.
Twist Royalty's moving all over the road and the OG Dragon had to back out of it. I don't know if that was lag, but that looked like a defensive move all the way to the right and then a defensive move all the way to the left. I'm not saying that that is what happened, but if it is, you can't do that.
No, it's too right way. I don't know if he's got lag, you must have lag. It's on my screen, he's everywhere.
No, that's just short.
Okay, let's see, whereabouts is SPL Mali Kakech? He's only got a couple of corners to go until he takes provisional victory here, but again, we don't know what in-game penalties.
Oh wait, he's out of fuel! He's out of fuel!
He's not, is he? He is! He's out of fuel! Oh my days! Where's Valdemar? Where's Valdemar's coming around the penultimate corner now? Where's SPL Mali Kakech? Can he get it up the hill? Can he get it up the hill? No, he can't! Here comes Valdemar to sneak past to take first place! Oh no, it's Mali Kakech sped up again. I think Mali Kakech has gifted it to Valdemar. Perhaps he's realised what happened there and he's given him the victory. We'll find out in the podium interviews. Oh, that'd be so exciting if it was fuel. But you know what? If he had, he is. Yeah, I'm on board with those now. But I think Twist Royalty's got it covered. Yes. But yeah, we don't know what in-game penalties people have got. As I mentioned,
they just dropped to P4. OG Dragon P3.
Okay, Caribbean Crush, he's in 6th place. Gonk, though, he's in 5th place. He's going to be crossing the line before Caribbean Crush. So Caribbean Crush, 6th place. Calzo's car is in 8th. There's a few drivers a lap down. Well, what a race we've had there. You know what, it'd have been so exciting if that had been out of fuel for SPL Mali Kakech. But at the same time, you know what, if he's backed off and given Valdemar the victory there, if SPL Mali Kakech knew what had happened, you could say, you know what, you didn't have to do that, you should have gone and taken the win. But at the same time, you could go, you know what, respect. The guy slowed down to give the position back to a driver he had a collision with. That driver retired. Valdemar waited and waited and waited. Mali Kakech went for it. We'll find out more about it on the podium interviews in a moment. So Valdemar taking the victory. A few drivers with penalties there. SPL Mali Kakech 2nd place. The OG Dragon 3rd. Twist Royalty was in 4th place. A few drivers not making it to the end of the race, which is a bit frustrating when it comes to posting the pictures up later, because it makes it look like Pascal Wehrlein, Kimi Räikkönen, Nico Rosberg and Jenson Button didn't make it to the end of the race. I'll have to work out who those drivers are. But anyway, what a race. What a race. Hindle, partway through the race, he said, not as much action as I thought there might be. Was there enough action for you by the end of the race?
The Valdemar, well, that went up for half. half a race. And then at the end, we all got a bit excited thinking he was out of fuel, but he was just letting him back through. But oh no, a good race.
Yeah, it was a very good race. Okay, Steve, if you can invite the drivers in for the podium interviews, and if any of the viewers have got any questions that you would like us to put to the podium sitters, feel free to put at FRR and ask your question in the YouTube chat, and we'll get Steve to put them to the drivers in a little while. We'll also do question of the day again. I would do it now, but I'm going to mention it to the drivers in a few minutes, so we'll wait for that, and we'll get to see how people have gone on with that. I think I've just seen Valdemar has joined us. The OG Dragon has also joined us, so we'll just wait for SBL Mali Kekech to come in, and yes, he is now in. Drivers, if you could please make sure that you've got your microphone set to allow to be shared in the party settings, otherwise the viewers are not going to be able to hear you, and Steve will be shouting at you to turn your microphone on. We've got to say, what a race. And you know what? Valdemar first place, SBL Mali Kekech second place, the OG Dragon in third place. Usually we'd go to Valdemar and just ask him a load of questions, and then we'd go to SBL Mali Kekech. I'm going to do it a little bit differently here, and then we'll go back to the normal sort of format. And first of all, we've got to talk about it at the end. SBL Mali Kekech, we thought you were out of fuel, but it looked like you were giving the position to Valdemar. Was that the case? Did you gift him the position because of what he did with waiting for Loki?
Yeah, I gifted him the position. I mean, the whole race he was just a little bit quicker than me, and I think he deserved the win.
Well, massive respect to you there. And Valdemar, you waited for Loki, you waited and waited and waited and waited, but he'd already retired. Respect to you for waiting. I'm just curious what was going through your mind at that point.
Well, I thought that the retired thing didn't pop up on my screen, so I thought he was still kind of rejoining the track, and I just thought, well, if he's not going to come back on track, I don't know what to do. And then Bleeding was my engineer. He said he's retired, and yeah, I just put the throttle down again. And I gotta say huge thank you to Mali for letting me back through.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Well done to both of you there. I mean, to touch on as well, there was a little incident. There was only 2 times I think yourself and Mr. Loki had a coming together. The one at the end that we saw, but there was another one a few laps before where there was a bit of contact between yourself and Mr. Loki, and fair play to Loki, he slowed down for you. He waited for you. So I mean, is there anything that you'd say about that?
I think maybe I was a bit desperate there and tried to go up the inside, and pretty much my own fault. But it's great that he waited so we could continue with the battle.
Yeah, that it was. Okay, Hindle, we're going to go back to the normal format. So I'm going to hand it over to you for any questions you might have for our race winner, Valdemar.
Well, DP actually nicked mine, asking what he was feeling when he realised Loki weren't coming. But there was another one. Why did you go for the mediums and not the softs on your last stint? Because maybe did you feel like if you was at the softs, you wouldn't have made them last? If you did go on the softs, would you have overtook Loki a lot easier?
Yeah, well, when I did the practice, the softs didn't last for 10 laps, so that's why I chose to opt for the mediums.
And do you feel like if you could have stretched them mediums, your first set of mediums a bit more, and then gone to the softs, do you think it'd have been a lot easier to overtake him? Because even though he was on the softs and you were on the mediums, you were keeping up with him.
Yeah, well, I think that if I've pitted later, Loki would have just been too far away. So yeah, Loki was very fast, I was very fast, so I think I did the right call.
Yeah, well, it shows it because you won the race, so congratulations.
The only question I would add on to that is, on your first set of mediums you did 15 laps, on the second it was 11. looking back, do you think perhaps you could have pitted a little bit earlier for your final stop?
Oh yeah, I was about to pit, but then I thought I wasn't sure how many laps I'd done on the mediums, so I just wanted to be 100% sure that they would last, and I may be a bit cautious there.
Well, overcautious, cautious, it doesn't matter. You put on a great show there. Absolutely fantastic race. We're going to move on to, don't go anywhere, because we're going to bring question of the day to you shortly. And we'll also see if we've got any questions for you on YouTube. We'll move on to second place, SBL Mali Kekec. So, Hindle, fire away.
Well, yeah, well, it was a pretty quiet race, apart from the last corner. For yourself, you seem to just be stuck a couple of seconds behind Valdemar and Mr. Loki. I mean, I think the first stint you was quite close to him, but you never really seemed to be in a position to attack. Was that just down to saving tyres, or was he just a bit quicker than you today?
Well, I said it before, he was just a little bit quicker than me, and I was just a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah, this track is, so me and DP said before, it's like a go-kart track. It's very fast, very flowing, lots of corners. You get a couple of corners wrong, or like you said, you're inconsistent, and you can end up falling, you know, miles behind. But second place is still, well, like you could have either easily have took the win. So I'll take my hat off to you as well. That's very, very good to see you waiting for Valdemort. So congratulations on your second place.
Thank you.
Yep, very well done. I think a question I'd add is, at Silverstone we saw an absolutely brilliant race between yourself and Valdemar, and it was gearing up to be similar here in Hungary. At the end of the race, when you saw him going slow and you went past him, was there any part of you that thought, yes, this will make up for Silverstone?
No, I was never thinking about Silverstone, but like just wasn't sure, should I give him the position or should I win? Well,
I can tell you what, if you'd have gone on and taken the win, there's not a single person that would have said you did anything wrong. However, giving him the position, I think you've just earned yourself a hell of a lot of respect from everybody in front row racing. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but that is what I would think. But yeah, absolutely well done. Fantastic drive to take second place there. And we're going to move on to third place. The OG Dragon had a very interesting race, a lot of battles all the way through, and at the end it was with Twist Royalty. I've only got one question for you, and then I'll hand over to Hindle, and that is, with a couple of laps to go, it looked like you were making a move on Twist Royalty down the start-finish, and then it looked like he was trying to make his car as wide as the track with a big move right, a big move left. Was that how it looked to you, or was there a bit of lag in there?
No, I tried it 5 laps previous, and it did the same. So I thought to myself, right, this lap I'm going to sell him the dummy early. But as I've done that, he's moved in front of me, so I moved back to the other side, and he's just come straight back, and I've had to jump on brakes.
Oh yeah, okay, that is what I saw.
And then into the first corner, he just slammed all brakes on, and I ran into the back of him.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, we may have to send Hindle to go and have a word with Twist Royalty, and I say that because they've both got kisses at the start and end of their name. Okay, Hindle, I'm going to hand over to you for your questions to the OG Dragon, the third place sitter.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your third place. I think that was...
Thank you.
I've not seen you, this is the first time I've seen you race. I've not really been around watching the other races for a while. So I thought you was a new driver. So, I don't know how many races you've done. 1, 2, 3, maybe.
I started in Austria and I got a podium in Austria.
Well, so there you go. You've shown your pace straight away, and I'm pretty sure you didn't have a penalty either. You was only one of the only few.
Me and John didn't have penalties.
So, yeah, so you're showing your pace, showing your clean as well. Do you think you've got a very well? You don't think you have got a very good chance of getting called up for, you know, maybe a reserve drive, admin's pick rookie. But the question is, were you shocked when you come across the line and you was third place? You'd be like, oh boy, where's that come from?
No, because when I were on about lap 12, my engineer said, don't worry about the car behind you, he's got a time penalty. And the car behind was Twist Royalty. Oh. So I knew for the rest of the race, just keep it clean, do what you do, race your own race, don't challenge.
Yeah, well, did that not make you think, like you said, you tried that move before where you know, come straight across you? Did you not think at that point, right, he's done that once, he's going to do it again, just, you know, take a step back, chill out, I don't need to overtake him, and I'll get the position at the end? Or did you just feel like you wanted to make a statement and overtake him on track?
I wanted to get past. It was so slow, so I just want to get past.
That's what everybody wants, but yeah, congratulations on your P3.
Cheers.
Yeah, very well done there. Okay, Steve, we're going to hand over to you. Any questions for the drivers from YouTube?
Well, yes, there is, but before I go on to those, I wondered if OG Dragon wanted to answer Hindle's first part of that question.
Was there a first part? I can't remember.
About whether if he gets called up for the World Series to take a reserve drive, would he be up for it?
I'd be up for it, but at the time, I'm not saying no, but I still want to get used to driving with the guys that I'm driving with now. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
But if I don't, I'm happy where I am for now.
They're completely different drivers. They're not completely different drivers, but the drivers you see today aren't the drivers who are in the World Series. So.
Yeah, I know that. What I'm just saying is, I'm in the reserves for now. But if I get called up, I get called up. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
It's one of them, innit?
Well, you've got a good chance anyway, showing your pace and showing you clean, and that's what the guys in the FRI look for mostly, is clean. And if you're quick as well, it's a bonus.
Yeah. Okay, Steve, come on then. YouTube. Well, we talked about that though on the broadcast. It's not all about being quick; it's about being consistent. I mean, Hindle mentioned it. You were one of the few drivers there that didn't get an in-game penalty. You've either been very, very lucky, or you've been consistently driving on the racetrack that people will look for. I mean, if there's drivers that have got like 19, 20 seconds worth of in-game penalties, if a team's looking for a reserve driver, they might go, oh, okay, he's quick, but he's just lost himself 4 places by getting loads of in-game penalties. And if he's got in-game penalties, he may also get reported for ETLs and get more penalties and get disqualified and get no points.
Yeah, I only ran off track a tiny bit once, and I just got a warning for it.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. Well, very well done. Okay, I'll ask Steve for the third time now. Steve, any YouTube questions?
Okay, start with a question for Valdemar first of all, which is off YouTube. How did you keep your head cool for 15 laps?
Well, I think that's thanks to my engineer, who said, just keep on doing what you're doing great. So...
Okay, well, it was your engineer that asked the question, so he obviously asked it to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next question is for Mally. It's from Drew, and it says, give me some of that champagne, please.
No, it's on my mind.
And then there's no other questions as such, but a few things I want to mention and bring up, and that is Mr. Loki did jump onto the live stream at the very last minute there, and basically said it wasn't a rage quit, it wasn't because of contact or anything like that, he's got to go to work.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why he pulled over to the side of the circuit and retired. He has to go to work. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the main reason. But I kind of was thinking that may be the possibility. Now, earlier on in the race, we saw, on lap 1, turn 1, we saw Drew got terminal damage, and he came into the online chat and said a few things about that, saying he was very upset, almost to the point where it made him feel like he doesn't want to continue, but I think he's changed his mind a little bit. Basically, it said, made him feel like a horse with a broken leg. So, yeah, that's how it made Drew feel.
Yeah, well, sometimes incidents happen, and it is very, very frustrating. Very frustrating.
One more thing.
Go on.
A Razor's made a comment about his race, and he also experienced the same with Twist Royalty, and it knocked him off the track.
Yeah, I've got that on my video.
Okay. What I would say is, I mean, with the World Series reserves and the World Championship reserves, obviously it's not a requirement for the drivers to record footage, but they are more than welcome to record their races and practice recording races or broadcasting them or live streaming their races. And if something a little naughty, shall we say, does happen, they are more than welcome to send a clip of their video into Front Row Racing and say, look, just want to let you guys know this happened. It won't be. It's not like sending it to the stewards. You send it to the main FRR page, and we can always have a chat with drivers. Because with the reserve systems, one of the things is it's about giving people the opportunity to learn, improve, become better. So yeah, it can help us to benefit everybody. Okay, we're going to move on to question of the day. So, podium sitters, get ready for this one because it's a hard one. It's a bit different to usual. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to have a guess at this one now, feel free to do so. And it's a bit different to usual. It's a who am I? So I'm going to give you a few clues and then let's see if you can work out who I am. So are you ready, guys? I hope so. No. Okay.
Tricky questions.
Well, I'm going to give you the clues and you can see if you can work out who I am. Okay. I raced in F1 for more than one team. I've won a race in F1, but should have won more. I've raced in DTM and Le Mans, and I love wine. Who am I? So.
Oh, I know this. I watched a video on it earlier.
In that case, hold your tongue for a moment. We'll come to you in a moment. Valdemar, have you any idea who I might be?
I've got no clue.
Well, I'll let you think about it for a moment as we go to SBL Mali Keket, who's probably going to say exactly the same thing.
Nah, I mean, I don't know a lot of drivers. I only know 2 drivers. One Le Mans, so I'll just go with Webber, even though I know he won more than one race.
Okay, so going with Mark Webber.
I guess you know it's wrong. But it's
okay, the OG Dragon. Come on then, if you think you know who it is, who I am. Come on, who am I?
I can't think of his name. I watched a video on it earlier as well.
Well, I didn't, so it could be someone completely different. Right, come on, Valdemar. You've had an extra 10 seconds to think. Come on, have a guess. I'll give the clues again. I raced in F1 for more than one team. I've won a race in F1, but should have won more. I've raced in DTM and Le Mans, and I love wine. Who am I? I could do with the countdown clock about now.
Yeah, do that.
Boom. Right, time's up. You're crap at this, Valdemar.
Yeah, I know.
The next time...
I think it's Nigel Mansell. I think.
Oh.
No.
It's a good guess. It's a good guess.
But it's wrong.
You know...
No, yeah, because Nigel Mansell won more than one race, didn't he?
He may have done, yeah.
The world champion.
Yeah. Well, next time...
It's not the name I'm looking for, so I just said that one.
Well, next time Valdemar's on the podium, the question of the day is suddenly going to be changed to Valdemar, what's your name? You might be able to have a guess at that one. Okay. I'm going to put everybody out of their misery in a moment, but Steve, I'm just curious. Have we had many guesses at this on YouTube?
Loads, and I'm going to run through them very, very quickly. We've had answers of Julie Fisichella, and then this next one I don't even know. Penny, like P-E-N-E. Penny. Mark Webber, Kovalainen, Kubica, Raikkonen, Panis, Maldonado, Mansell, Bottas, Verstappen, Glock, Hulkenberg, Coulthard, Lazy, Martin Brundle, and Barrichello. Now, I just think there's somebody there just listing all the drivers they could think of, so they might have a chance of getting it right.
Well, I tell you what, somebody in there has
Two more
got...
times, Dave.
Oh, God.
Yes. And I think I know which one it was.
Somebody in there has got it right. So, Hindle, you said you think you know which one it was, so come on then, let's see how wrong you can
when
be.
You said it then, when you said it then, I thought something like that. Either the who you said first or second? Who Steve said first or second? Say it again, Steve. Who did you say first or second?
Say them slowly. Hang on. Say them slowly. Who was the first one?
Truly.
Wrong.
And the second one.
And the second one is Fishy Keller.
Wrong. So Hindu, you've been wrong about 5 times.
I'm wrong. I give up.
Okay, somebody on YouTube has got it right, so I'm going to put everybody out of their misery now. It was Jean Lacey.
Yeah.
He raced for 6 different teams in Formula 1. He did only win 1 race, and that was at Canada. And he should have won more, considering he was racing in a Ferrari for quite a while. He did race in DTM, but never won a race in DTM. And he did race in Le Mans as well. He also tested in Le Mans. I think his first test for Le Mans was the same day that Massa had his first retest in an F1 car after his crash. And he loves wine so much that he does have his own vineyard where he lives in Avignon. So whoever it was on YouTube that guessed Jean Lacey, well done to you. Having guessed 20 names, you were bound to possibly get one of them right. Okay. Time to bring this to an end then. So, well done to our podium sitters. Valdemar taking the victory. SBL Mali Kekech taking a 2nd place. So the OG Dragon a well-deserved 3rd place. Well done to you guys. And well done to everybody else that took part. And commiserations to those guys who didn't make it to the end. I want to say thank you to my co-commentators from Row Racing GP and Hindle. Thank you for doing a cracking job today.
No problem.
No problem. Always good to be back.
Aye, that it is. Now, usually you'd be able to see Hindle racing next Thursday, but he's not going to be taking part. So you're going to have to keep an eye out to see who he's going to call in as a reserve. See if he picks someone that could possibly beat his teammate and stop him from taking maximum points. Or disconnect them, yeah. Calzo's getting a phone call in a minute. That's if he's not thrown his phone against the wall. Okay, next up on the Front Row Racing YouTube channel will be this Sunday, 8 p.m. for the Project Cars DTMs, round 5, I believe it is. And unfortunately, my mind has gone blank and I can't remember which circuit it is at this week. But join us, Germany. No, we did Germany the other day. Yeah. You put me off now. I don't know. So yeah, join us Sunday 8 p.m. for that anyway. It'll be fantastic either way. The next World Series...
I've remembered.
Go on.
Alton Park Fosters.
That's right, it is at Alton Park. That's an interesting little circuit. Definitely join us for that one. Next World Series reserves race will be in 2 weeks' time, which is from Germany. That'll be the Hockenheimring, as the current F1 layout is. However, next Wednesday you can join us for the World Championship Round 11 at Hungary, and then on Thursday the World Series Round 11 at Hungary. Both of those will be live from about 7:25 p.m, and they're definitely races to come and watch. If you do want to get involved in F1 or Project Cars, then feel free to come and join Front Row Racing. Find us on Facebook, send us a message, and we'll get you signed up to the relevant side of the gaming that you want on PlayStation 4. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you all again soon. Boom. He's off for his dinner. See you later, everybody.